Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 43, and today's date is May the 4th. You know, May the 4th be with you. And I am Duds, or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I am Jimbo, also known as Jimbo Slice 23. And how has your week been so far, Duds?
Crummy. It's not been fun at all. But that's bunch of outside Minecraft I'll save for discussions later if people want to hit me up on the Discord. Nothing like teen drama wise, if that's what you guys are hoping for. Nothing like that. Just a lot of fails by Duds and his inability to count still. But Minecraft wise, I've gotten some stuff done. I've gotten a new storage room for my gunpowder farm, which looks awfully familiar, and when you guys see the video, you'll know. I've started on a slime farm and a string farm because I realized I needed more string this episode, and I got tired of not having any string. Both those are like, by starting, I was like, oh, I can put a slime farm here, sign. And then the string farm was, okay, here's an entrance to get into the cave where the spider spawner was. So very, very little things.
This is the spider spawner right underneath your home base?
Yeah, if you've watched last episode, I ended up going over there. I found it on stream, and it's literally right under my house. And yep. I never knew it was there until about 3 weeks ago. So
pretty convenient.
Pretty convenient. I'm also thinking about doing a cactus farm because I'm running through the green dye, and it's one of those farms. I think I built a cactus farm last season just to smelt it for the XP, to do one of those XP machines.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't use cactus a lot. But I'm finding I really want to use lime green dye this season, and cyan dye is another one I want to use a lot of.
Yeah, the cactus can be good for XP reasons, but if you're not going to use green, I always suggest to use kelp because you can always use that fuel source.
But it doesn't give you the same amount of XP.
Yeah, it doesn't give you as much. That's true.
So, like, if you're using an XP machine that, like I'm using, I think it was designed by Mango, it works by counting how many items it smelted. So, if you smelt kelp instead of cactus, it'll give you the wrong amount of XP because it's meant to be just enough XP to repair a tool.
Yeah, or elytra or armor. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh, I know what you mean.
That brings up another thing. Since netherite items usually have more durability, does that mean that machine now won't work and needs to be changed to fit a larger amount of XP?
Yeah, the netherite durability.
Mm-hmm. Dun,
Good
dun,
question.
dun. There are probably some people
redesign it.
Talk about. Yeah, but how about you? What have you been up to this week, Jimbo?
I've had some good times and some bad times.
Yeah.
The good news is I convinced my wife to get the processor. Get my new processor. I'm getting a Ryzen 7 3700X. I did have a Ryzen 5 2600, and it did everything I wanted it to do. Streaming, I seem to get some frame drops every now and then, and I know a processor with more cores would help, though I'm hoping it's not something with the graphics card. There is a encoder inside the graphics card for specifically for like streaming and everything to help with that. But I'm thinking if the Ryzen 7 has all those cores, I might be able to use my GPU not for the encoding but strictly for the gaming and the quality, and maybe just have the processor try to run the programs and everything by itself. So hopefully that kind of levels everything out. So yeah. And how did I get her to, and how did I convince her?
I want to know.
You're probably wondering. I tried the whole, honey, I'll get done with my videos a lot quicker to spend time with the family. She laughed in my face. That didn't work. Now, I brought up my birthday. I said, honey, you know what I would really like for my birthday? She was like, what? I said, processor, right? She laughed in my face again. But now, my birthday's not till late June, okay? This is why I got a big laugh in my face, for one. And I'm not one to like, hey, it's my birthday, wish me happy birthday. I usually like don't get me anything for my birthday. It's just a birthday. But some people see that as like your day. This is your day out of the year to, do whatever you want, have a good time. And I think that's where I got her, because she values the birthday more than I value the birthday. And I use that to get my processor score.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen is when her birthday rolls around, she's going to use that against you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hers has already passed. The link
click.
Hers is passed. So
yeah,
I got a little while
by then.
Yeah, probably not. She'll probably get something tomorrow for her birthday next year. That's my
luck. You
luck.
Put your old parts in her PC.
That's what I told her. I even tried that, and that didn't work. She's like, no, mine's okay. I'm like, man, God, just couldn't crack her. But the birthday thing worked, and that's the good news. Bad news is, also, I do plan on making a video of me upgrading the PC. I made a video of when I first built it, and I'd like to update everyone with the new parts in a new video. Awesome. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming out. That's the good news. The bad news is I had to have another eye surgery. That was on Thursday. The follow-up day after, the doctor said everything looked good. It's just my retina seems to scar and cause holes from the scarring from it pulling on the retina. And they're just having a hard time of keeping my retina flat. But the good news is the lens of my eye is staying clear, which is, it's hard for them to believe, they said, because how many times they did surgery and what they're trying to do to keep it from tearing is usually would cause some cloudiness, like that white haziness inside the people. You notice when people start to lose their eyesight. Yeah, that's not happening to me. So that's a good thing. I keep my fingers crossed that, it stays clear and everything goes well. So, that pretty much ties up my week. I'm not in any pain or anything, and I'm doing well today. Pretty healthy besides the eye.
Awesome. Yeah, I know what eye problems are like, and it's not fun. It gets really scary when you wake up one day and you just have no vision out of an eye.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that freaked me out that day.
Yeah, I hate it. But I have another non-Minecraft thing I forgot to mention. Since today is Star Wars Day, I'm going to be buying Jedi Fallen Order from Steam because it's on sale for Star Wars Day. I think it's actually on sale for like a week, but I'm definitely picking it up because I haven't really played another game other than Minecraft for the past year. I dabbled a little bit in Witcher 3. I played a lot of Breath of the Wild lately. But other than that, I really haven't played anything. So, yeah, I'm getting some Star Wars. I need it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like in and out of 7 Days to Die. And I haven't played Minecraft this week. I'm trying to stay away from it just to, when everything starts up again, I'm like fresh and ready to go. I still have ideas brewing and everything for builds and different skits and stuff I want to do. So that my mind's turning for that. But no, I haven't been on creative or anything lately.
Yeah, but if that's it, do we want to move on to the news?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, so we got Snapshot 20W18A. This is a biggie. Start with that. So there's been changes to Redstone in this update. This is kind of the big change. This one, there were no new blocks, no new biomes. Redstone. So the redstone wire had some changes. The little circle dot when you put one redstone down is now a cross. I get it and I don't like it at the same time. It makes sense because the cross shows you that the power is going in the 4 cardinal directions. But at the same time, if it's not connected to anything, I'd rather have it a dot than a cross. That's just me. Also, the target block now conducts redstone signals. I know before, everyone's like, but you would shoot it and it would give out a redstone signal. Yes, that's true. But if you put a lever to it and turned it on and off, the block itself would act transparent and wouldn't send out a redstone signal. So other redstone wire changes are a wire on top of a block, which is redirected from below, will power the sides that is redirected to now. E.g., a fence gate above the redirecting wire will be powered. And what I took from this was basically when you put redstone down on one level and then another redstone on an upper level right next to it, you get that vertical piece of redstone up a block, right? That vertical piece of redstone, when it glows, it powers that block. It's vertically going up. And I keep saying vertically a lot on purpose because to me, this is a representation of the fact that vertical redstone is now possible. It's not very convenient, and it's not the way we thought it was going to be, but it's possible.
Yeah.
That being said, it's going to break a lot of things.
Oh, yeah. So many.
And I'm kind of weighing the pros and cons. It's like, is it worth breaking all these things to, make that step forward into the vertical redstone world? That being said, this may just be all BS I'm spitting out, and vertical redstone's going nowhere, but I kind of hope it is.
Yeah, this could have something to do with like a parity change too. I don't know how Bedrock works, if it's similar to this, but that's another thing that came to my mind. Maybe they're just trying to, get the parity down between the two different Minecraft brands.
Yeah, I definitely think that's part of it. Actually, we know that's part of it because they came out a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, and said, hey, we're going to be messing with Redstone a little bit to make Bedrock and Java a little bit closer together. We will be breaking some things. But they've also said they want feedback to know if maybe they're breaking things a little too far. So, guys, definitely go to Mojang's site. Let them know, tweet them. They've been very responsive to tweets lately, too. So, they're listening. Don't feel like they don't care and they're going to do what they want. They're definitely listening to the community, so take advantage of it.
Yeah.
That was a huge paragraph for Redstone I just summed up because it's a lot easier for me to say it the way I did than to read this, because even I got confused reading it when I was writing it.
Yeah.
So we'll just skip that. We'll confused. We'll go to Jimbo's note, and then we'll move on to bug fixes.
I do want to stay with the Redstone. If you want to check it out, it'd be best to just play with it to see the differences, because even when I was watching the video, how they were explaining how things were different, I'm not like a Redstone master or anything. I know how it works, but there's some things that kind of throw me off, and that's something that I just didn't catch a grasp on, is what in the world is this thing powering now that I don't get, So it's best to, just go in there and play with it yourself to really get the grasp of it. My note. Okay, yeah, I got a note here. Entity broadcasting. Added entity broadcast range percentage server property controlling how close entities need to be before being sent to clients. Higher values means entities are visible further away from players but cause more network traffic. Specifies percentage of default value. So, for example, 15 specifies half of the default range. Slice Lime has mentioned the nether biome sizes are
That's probably... a whole other note.
That's a different note. Okay. That's why I do one note. We'll get back to that second note.
To put it, I guess simply, they're just trying to clean up the network chatter between entities as a way to boost performance. That's really what I'm taking away from it. Yeah. I can't go much more, because you guys know how we are with the complex workings of code and stuff. We don't touch that. But this is a kind of an important thing, because a lot of people have said since 1.14, Villager AI has caused a lot of entity lag and stuff, and I think this is going to kind of help with that. Maybe it's talking about item frames and hoppers or armor stands, I'm not sure. But they understand there's too much chatter on the network, and they're trying to minimize it as much as they can.
Yeah, this just helps performance. I did miss this in the snapshot when I was looking over the snapshot news and stuff, but I'm glad you brought this up. It is it's definitely going to help. Do I read my second note?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Slice Lime has mentioned that nether biome sizes are probably going to change. I like that.
Yeah, this was another thing Exuma Void in his snapshot video kind of just mentioned. Whether that's going to be for bigger or for smaller, I'm not sure.
Yeah, not sure yet.
I haven't played enough in the nether. I've only kind of zoomed around, and as of right now, the nether sizes feel fine, but when you try to build farms in those areas, they might be too small, so I might want a little bit bigger. But then you have like something like a Soul Sand Valley, where if you don't have those special Soul Sand boots, you're gonna be like, man, this thing's too big.
Yeah, they all seem to be around the same size from the exploring I did. No biome seems way bigger than the other, so maybe they plan on doing something like that.
Maybe. Let's get into bug fixes because there are a couple bug fixes I thought were really interesting, such as chain blocks can now be waterlogged, which I was excited for because when I saw chain blocks, my first thought was an anchor for a boat.
Yeah.
So now that you can waterlog them, that can be a thing. Also, the broken spawn rates in Soul Sand Valleys and Warped Forests now fixed. You're not going to get a ton of gas trying to blow your face off in Soul Sand Valleys anymore.
Oh, that's good.
I was going to say, you sounded disappointed right there.
No, that's great. I've had so many encounters with gas in the new snapshot. I'm just relieved, to be honest.
Another update that I'm happy with, nether wart blocks are now acting kind of like a leaf block. So mobs aren't going to spawn on top of them. At least nether mobs, from what I saw. Which I like, because we all considered the nether block just to be a normal block. But now Mojang's using it as a leaf block. So I think it definitely needs the attributes of a leaf block. So I'm happy with that change.
Yeah, the fact that it's farmed with a hoe or gathered with a hoe and grows on trees, only makes sense.
Yep. And the final update, I'm glad they're addressing it, but I just don't think they're there yet. And it's when you're playing on a multiplayer server, the chat that scrolls through, it always would be behind the armor. Now it's in front of the armor icons. And you would think that would help out a lot, but it's still really hard to read, especially if you're like me and you're now turning the opacity of the background like all the way off so you just see the words. What I would like, and Exuma Void mentioned this seems like the proper way, just move the chat up a couple pixels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's always above the armor, not in front of the armor. To me, that makes way more sense.
Yeah, it can get confusing, that armor in the way.
Yeah, especially when our server, whenever we start a new season, chat's extremely active. It's really hard to keep up with.
Yeah, I did want to touch on the broken spawn rates in the valleys and the warp forest. I was watching YT's stream, and she wanted to go fight the dragon, so she went to the warp forest in the nether to get her enderman pearls. And ender pearls? Yeah, ender pearls. Jeez. And she could not find... There you go. And there was an enderman. She couldn't find enderman. And when my experience is they were everywhere. So it looks like they nerfed their spawn rates a little bit from what I saw.
That or her spawn cap was being taken out from all the mobs in the other biomes that were over spawning.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like a big warp biome, so I was surprised not to see any endermen. And after reading that, it kind of makes a little bit more sense. Could be the reason.
But if that's it, should we go ahead and get into the Discord ad?
Sure.
All right, guys, this week's Discord ad is brought to you by Link. And like always, if you'd like to record an ad for us, get in touch with me, Carl, or Jimbo, and we'll get you hooked up with the script and stuff. We always love to hear from a Discord community, and the fact that you guys want to do this for us is really awesome. So take it away, Link.
Hello there, miners and crafters. This is Link. Come and join me on the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to hang out with the people that work on the show and other fellow listeners like yourselves. The link is in the show notes. Join today and let's discuss the game we love.
Alright, thanks again for the Discord ad link. I always love it because the way we do those is when I say take it away, me and Jimbo just go silent for 10 seconds and I literally count the seconds on my fingers so I don't mess up.
Do you?
I really do. That's how messed up I am. Counting scares me lately.
I count on Audacity.
Oh,
the seconds go down.
Well, I scroll mine out a lot.
Nothing more reliable than fingers, though.
Yeah. My Audacity is scrolled out, so I see like 20 minutes at a time.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be able to keep up with seconds.
Yeah, I think mine is like a 10-second frame. That's neat, though. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Let's get into Block of the Week. As always, we guys asked you to vote in our Discord on which of the following blocks me and Jimbo are going to discuss this week. I need to change that, Carl. It's Jimbo and I. That's. I don't have many grammar pet peeves. That's one of them. Carl's just like, shut up, duds, and read the script. Anyways, your choices this week were a bell, a sea lantern, or the blast furnace.
And the winner this week of Block of the Week is... Sea Lanterns. Congratulations, Sea Lantern.
Yeah, I did not expect Sea Lanterns to win.
No, because it didn't seem like there was much to change.
Before we go into the Sea Lantern stuff, guys, Blast Furnace. I had something written out perfectly. Why can you not put sand in a blast furnace to turn it into glass?
Yeah, that'd be good to mention.
To make glass in real life, you put sand in a blast furnace.
That's a good point. That honestly need to be shared before we jump into Sea Lanterns, because why isn't that a thing?
Yeah, I had my grandmother did ceramics and glasswork when I was younger. So immediately when I saw we were getting a blast furnace, I was like, yes, I can make glass so much faster. But no, let down. Boo.
Yeah, those super smelters are perfect for smelting those large quantities of glass. And the blast furnace would just, multiply the speed. But hey, not today.
Yeah. No. All right, let's get on what everyone wants to hear about, though.
Sea Lantern. It's made with 5 prismarine crystals and 4 prismarine shards. It can be only obtained with the Silk Touch pickaxe or Silk Touch, really anything.
I think you can hold a Silk Touch book and it still work.
Oh, wow. I know if you do the fortune, you'll just get, the shards and the crystals. And you, even if with Fortune 3, you won't get that exact amount back to make a full Sea Lantern. So make sure you do have Silk Touch when placing these blocks. The light level is 15, which is the highest in the game, which is same as Glowstone and some other lighting blocks.
I think Beacon has a light level of 15 too.
Yeah, Beacon, the Jack-o'-lanterns. There was actually quite a few, but that is the highest, 15. It can be used to activate a conduit. So with
I did not know that.
Yeah, you can use that for the outlining with the other prismarine blocks, dark prismarine, the bricks, and the lanterns help make the conduit active. And these are found in monuments and ruins.
Awesome.
Yep.
So this is the point where I normally would come up with an improvement for said block of the week. So this week I came up with nothing. You guys ain't getting nothing. The Sea Lantern is an awesome block as it is. Now, in all seriousness, there were a couple good suggestions by you guys. Let's see, Groova Guy, who was on the show a couple weeks ago, mentioned maybe make Sea Lanterns repel drowns, which could be cool. I wish the conduit would do more of that. I know it hurts the drowns, but it doesn't really repel the drowns. So if it's not going to repel the drowns, I could see Sea Lanterns doing that. J-Man went through a thing about a Sea Lantern compass. I'm sorry, but for Sea Lanterns.
Well, I think it was to stop spawns from hostile mods. If you were to put it has a radius on the compass. I don't know if it's placed and it stops the mobs from spawning. That was his suggestion. But the only thing I could see where it makes sense is the lighting of the Sea Lantern. If you were to put 8 of those around a compass, it would give it more light somehow.
That would be cool.
And then that could give it, instead of 15 spaces, maybe he's talking about maybe a 13 space light level.
Well, yeah, imagine crafting, taking 9 Sea Lanterns and putting those in a crafting table. And maybe that creates, instead of a light level of 15, a light level of 30. And instead of having a Sea Lantern with a green outline, it's a white outline. So it's like the pure white block.
Yeah.
So that could be really cool and a real fun way to play with lighting.
I like that idea. Which is similar to what J-Man's saying. I don't know why you would need a compass. I do like the idea of maybe just throwing 9 of them in there. And once you place that, you do get the double light level. That's cool.
Oh, I get it. No, he's using the compass. So you remember the carpet mod where it shows you what blocks are spawnable and what are not?
Yeah, okay.
The compass is now doing that.
Okay.
So you wouldn't have to check F3 on your light levels and stuff.
Got it. Yeah, that would help for Bedrock also.
See, guys, brains are fried today, let me tell you.
The thing is, we had less suggestions until now. Like things are popping in our heads just to now suggest. Yeah, it's hard to improve the Sea Lantern. It is a really nice block. It even has that like animation to where it's like a ripple inside of it.
That being said, that's probably my least favorite part of the texture.
Just about to say that.
Yeah, I think everybody turns that off. But other than that, it's a clean block. I like the colors they used for it. It feels very sea level. I kind of wish the name was something different than Sea Lantern, because when I think of Sea Lantern, I think of those real old grate covered lamps. I don't know if this was from like the 1800s and stuff, but yeah, that's something small and nitpicky. But I did want to put out my favorite way to use the Sea Lantern, since I'm not going to be changing the Sea Lantern at all. My favorite way is to use it as a street post or a street lamp. So I put a Sea Lantern down on top of a fence post of my choosing on top of a cobble wall. So it's 3 high. And then I cover the Sea Lantern with jungle trapdoors. And to me, that's the best looking street lamp in the game. Granted, lanterns have come along and they're really close second.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like that look.
Yeah, I do see that a good bit. I enjoy that as well. I do want to note that probably the most notable change people would want is the color. Being able to dye it. Like you said, you do like the color the way it is, and so do I. I like it fits the whole Prismarine vibe. If you were to change it by color, it probably wouldn't fit the whole Sea Lantern.
Well, and it's a mostly white block. It's got shading on the outside, but it's mostly white, and that's what you assume a light block is a lot of white.
Yeah, with stained glass, you can always change that.
Yeah. To me, in rods, I go back to that. I don't understand why the base isn't dyeable. I'm glad they changed the color from purple to gray.
Yeah.
But to me, that's the easiest light source we should be allowed to dye.
Yeah. My favorite way to use it, probably underneath like a smoky glass texture. I noticed if you do the glass layers, it makes it like a deeper smoky texture, whether it's below you or on the walls or above you, wherever you want to make the layers. You put Sea Lanterns behind it. It gives it like a glow, like a smoky glow.
Mm-hmm.
I love using Sea Lanterns to do that. It's more like
really cool.
I use it for more of like modern type of deals also.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about it. Not many changes. Just wanted to mention the color thing. Yeah, that's about it for me.
All right, should we get on to our main topic this week?
Yes.
All right, so our main topic, as I was writing out the podcast, changed. Mm-hmm. I always ask when I'm writing it for listener comments and stuff to fill it out. Well, this week, a listener comment from Biggs Adam 02 kind of made me go, you know what? We could make a full topic episode out of this, and I think you guys would really like it. And they asked, if you could make a naturally generating structure, maybe even one that can contribute some sort of lore, what would you make? Now, before we jump full into what we would do, I wanted to start with the Minecraft structures that are already there and what we like about them. So it doesn't have to be a specific structure, but just in general, what about Minecraft structures do you like?
But me?
Yeah.
Start with me. Who else is here? Oh, no, it's just me and you. That's right.
I was going to say, do you want me to go first to give you an example?
Yeah, you better. I didn't really think of anything right away.
So, like, everyone, the easy one is loot. Everyone likes going to different structures to raid them and loot them to find different things.
Okay, is this where I come in?
This is where you come in.
Yeah, the loot, man, yeah, that's got to be the best part. Yeah, as soon as you find a structure, you're going to go look for the loot.
Yeah, you're like, does this thing have a chest? Can I get into it?
Mm-hmm. I kind of like the random generated structures just because you know what to expect in like the desert temple. You know what it looks like in and out. You know what to expect in the jungle temple and, all those other ones. But then you have like your mine shafts. Now your piglin bastions. These places are like mazes. And I think it's more fun not knowing the way through, not knowing what's around the next turn. It's cool, like you said, in the loot boxes. You don't know what's going to be in there, which is, the fun of it. But also not knowing around what's the what's around the next turn is also pretty exciting to me. It's one of my favorite parts.
I mean, you can throw end cities in there too, because like you said, everyone knows what an end city's like, but it generates randomly. So you may get a ship, you may not. You may get lots of tall towers, you may get one single tower.
Yeah, it's true.
That being said, what's your favorite structure of Minecraft?
My favorite generated structure?
Mm-hmm.
It probably would be the mine shafts, just because there's just so many different kinds of loot you can come across. You can come across spawners that way. You can find your gold inside the loot, or just if you get deep enough. Again, just the mystery of not knowing what's around is that's the fun. I like spelunking. I like the adventure and finding new things.
Yeah, I think my favorite structure, I'm gonna go big, and it's the Ocean Monument.
Okay.
So I started playing Minecraft in 1.8, so that was like a huge update. But at the time, I didn't realize that the Ocean Monument was a huge update. For me, it's been in the game since the beginning, which I find really cool also. But to me, it's also the most grand structure in the game. There's not many things bigger than the Ocean Monument. End cities can be, and they definitely have better loot with shulker shells and elytra. I mean, a lot of stuff beats sponges. But Ocean Monuments, one, are very cool looking. It contains my favorite light source in the game and sea lanterns. It creates my favorite looking mob in the game with guardians. I think guardians are the coolest thing in the world. It also houses the most annoying mob in the game in elder guardians when you get mining fatigue. And I mean, you can just be boating around and all of a sudden you hit the bubbles now. The magma block bubbles that suck you down. And imagine being your boat broken and being sucked down right in front of an ocean monument. You're just starting a new world.
Yeah,
that's an intimidating structure to look at.
Yeah, early game, you do not want to come across one of those in the open. That's for sure.
Now, that being said, with your favorite structure, what do you not like about it? What would you change about it to make it better?
The mine shafts. What would I change about it? I'd probably give it a little bit more activity. Like, make it a little bit more active. Kind of like they have chests laying around, the minecart chest, which I think is good. It's not just a chest, it's a minecart chest. Like, it's been active at one point. But maybe there's some chests that are still, like, running around, like rolling around through the mine shaft.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be cool just to give it some more activity. It'd probably be easier to find, which I probably wouldn't like that. I don't know. Could be good, could be bad. Might make things easier. But just hearing the minecart up and down the hallway, probably pinpoint a lot easier. But yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more activity. I wouldn't say a new mob because, well, maybe because it is its own biome, kinda. Like if you go into a nether fortress, the game recognizes that you're in a nether fortress and it spawns certain mobs. So maybe the mine shaft could have its own mob. That'd be cool to see.
I think my big change for a mine shaft would be, how they often spawn with double cave spider spawners? I would like one of those other spawners to be something other than cave spider. Maybe a zombie, maybe a skeleton.
Yeah.
Always have the cave spider spawner because that makes sense. And I like how deadly they make the game feel. But to give you some kind of variety would be really cool also.
I agree.
Now let's move on to our structures. What we would put in the game. Do you have yours in mind or do you want me to go first?
My structure it's fairly large. It's almost like a biome. Now hear me out. Because it's so large, you'd have to put it in a place to where you don't run into it too often. And my first thought was the sky. If you could put a big structure, maybe some kind of like a ship or like a floating island in the sky somewhere. Now the build limit you have is like 250 or what, 256, something like that.
It's 256.
And you can't go much higher than that. But what if like 2,000 blocks in the sky there's an island that you can build on, and it's got I'm trying to think of a structure. I'm thinking a castle. That's what's in my mind, like an island with a castle on there. And it houses what you say? What could house this castle but a dragon, right?
What color is this dragon?
Blue. Just kidding.
Oh, dang.
Just kidding. We can make it red. But I was thinking, yeah, DuDs' red dragons would fit perfect in a sky island. Not so much like a dimension, like you're in the world, but you have to just go so far up to find it. It's not going to leave a shadow in the overworld to where mobs can spawn. There's a big black circle. That's one thing I was thinking about when coming up with something like this. But like just so far up to where it's very rare. It's like a mansion type of rarity. You're not going to run into it too often. But to find one, you'd have to maybe something with the end. I don't know. I haven't come up with all the details yet besides the structure.
I want to play with this idea because obviously you mentioned red dragons, so I'm titillated.
I knew you'd like the idea, but it wasn't all the way done yet. But I know like the end game is the elytra. You get the elytra, you're at the end game. But what if you go further?
What if there was more in game?
Yeah. If you were to go further, what would you have to do? Well, to use the elytra to get to another end game type of scenario.
I really like the idea of an object way up in the sky that's either floating or maybe like a flying airship or something like that. And I really like the idea of putting it above build limit. So one, you can't build your way up to it to beat it. You have to fly. And two, you now can't break blocks and build a defense for fighting this new mob boss. You have to just straight up fight the mob boss.
Yep.
Because it's above build limit. I think that's a really cool idea.
And there's
How
only so much.
easy would it be to put in the game? I don't know.
Yeah. There's only like so much building space up there. But there's going to be a big gap where you can't build around it, which I thought would be a pretty neat idea. It'd be different.
Yeah, I really like that idea.
Not because of the red dragons or anything, is it?
Not even because of the red dragons. I think the red dragons are cool, and I can't wait to have them in the game and stuff. But a flying airship that's so high up, you can't tear it down, you can't farm it, you can't do any of that stuff. It's just there for you to explore. In survival Minecraft would kind of be cool. They'd have to be super rare. Because like you said, that dark spot on the ground that you can never get rid of will be super annoying. But I think that's really cool.
It took me like all day to think about it. I was like, man, I got to come up with something here.
So is it my go?
Yeah.
I've got two, and I'm going to start with my small one. My small one was in a taiga biome, and this is why it's kind of small and not the main focus, because taiga's just got an update, and I'd hate to put a structure in a biome that already got so much love and attention. But my idea was to put a log cabin, something different than villager houses and stuff like that, but put a log cabin in the woods, something small, and it would kind of act like a haunted version of the igloo you can find in ice spikes biomes. So maybe you see zombies chained up and stuff, or behind bars. Maybe it looks like somebody was running experiments on the zombies and stuff like that. Maybe there's a cleric that used to live there or something like that. I think that could be really cool to do a haunted structure version. They already have like deserted villages that to me kind of give that haunted feel. Yeah. So I think a small log cabin that acts like an igloo in the forest would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be neat, just traveling along and exploring, and you see like the smoke of a chimney, and you see this little log cabin up there. That would give it a little bit of something, and like he mentioned, it does contribute to lore also. I do like that.
My next one is a much bigger thing, and when I thought about structures and stuff and why I think structures are there, I think it all comes back to Mojang wants you to explore Minecraft. They want you to go everywhere. And the one biome I feel that just does not get any love, not by Mojang, but by its players, is Savannah biome. There's not a lot of people that like to be there. And I get it. The grass is ugly. The leaves are ugly. But it doesn't rain.
Yeah,
so you've got that going for you.
There are villages.
And there are villages. But other than acacia logs, there's not a real purpose to be in the Savannah biome. And that's why I want to put a temple in the savannah biome.
Okay.
When talking about the lore, I wanted to not really focus on something religious because I think Minecraft does a very good job staying away from stuff like that. But they have churches and villages and stuff like that, so I wanted this to be like the Temple of the Sun or something in there. And this would house a large respawnable boss, kind of like a dragon is. You beat the dragon once, but you can choose to respawn it whenever you want. Or the Wither, you can choose when to respawn the Wither.
Okay.
So after you go in, you beat this boss in this temple, you can choose to respawn it a certain way. So there's kind of some extra side quests if you want to do that. But this boss in this temple will be a new boss. And I hate to say it, but I kind of thought of another dragon. Not a red dragon or anything like that, but a different version of a dragon. One that's kind of like chained up a little bit housed, so it can't fly around or anything. It just kind of moves around on the ground, but it's going to spit fire at you, kind of like how the dragon does its dragon's breath in the end.
Okay.
Except this one's like straight up shooting fire at you because, you know, it's the Temple of the Sun. Sun's like fire, all that kind of stuff.
Does it got the linger effect?
I don't know. I would assume not. Fire doesn't really linger around unless it's real dry brush. Of course, I'm in a savanna biome, so but I wanted it to house like really good loot, but I just couldn't think of anything to put there. Like when I think of the ultimate loot, you think of mending books, shulker boxes, and elytras. Those are the big three. When you think, yeah, I've struck it rich, it's when you have one of those three. And I just couldn't come up with anything creative enough for that. I don't know, maybe you can get a key from this dragon, and that unlocks the airship Jimbo created.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out a way to get there, or what would take you there.
Right. Or maybe this would house a portal of some sort. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think giving players a reason to go explore the savannah more is always nice, because I really like the savannah biomes, especially the shattered mountain version of it. I think that's a really cool, great place. I mean, savannah plateaus are nice, good homesteads to build off of when you're just starting a world.
Great view.
But not a lot of people explore much. I used to only ever build there, and then the last couple seasons I've kind of stayed away from there because I figured people were probably getting bored of me watching, or bored of watching me build there. So I've stayed away a little bit. I might make a comeback, I don't know. But yeah, I want some savannah love.
Yeah, savannas aren't very easy to terraform either.
They're not.
That's one thing.
Yeah. I don't fault people for staying away from them because they are a bit of a pain, but I love them.
They're not bad.
But it's kind of it. Do you want to go ahead and read us out?
Sure. If you like the show, you can share it with all your friends and on social media. If you listen to Spotify, follow us. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you would like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@rippleeffectsmp.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord, where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
Yeah, this show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be and not trapped in a fictional temple/airship that's created by Jimbo and I. The amazing music you hear in the intro and the outro was created by the one and only Decoy, and everybody's social media info can be found down in the show notes. You guys have been awesome like usual. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you later.